Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So today is the 10th lecture of pericyclic reactions, and we are going to discuss electrocyclic reaction with respect to 4n plus 2 pi electronic system. Here are the brief contents of today's lecture. First, we shall discuss, we have already discussed electrocyclic reactions in the previous lecture. So today we shall continue that, and we shall focus on the system that has 4n plus 2 pi electron system. So basically these are aromatic systems, so we shall study some examples of aromatic system and also some examples of these reactions where you can find these 4n plus 2 pi electronic systems involved in electrocyclic reactions, and these reactions can basically be thermal or photochemical. And there are further some practical evidences in favor of 4n plus 2 pi electronic system involved in the pericyclic reactions, but we have some selection rules. We already drawn them from symmetry operations too. That symmetry has always been meant during a particular pericyclic reaction. So we shall see that these evidence also support the same selection rules. In the previous lecture we have discussed about anti-aromatic system. Basically aromatic and anti-aromatic, they are very closely related, except the number of pi electrons, they are different. Just like in case of aromatic, both aromatic and anti-aromatic, they should be, the compounds are cyclic, they have conjugated, that is alternate single and double bond, or you can say single or triple bond. Then they are flat. The flat means all the nuclei are in the same plane, because this is very important for the overlap of orbitals. The difference is the number of pi electrons. In one case there are even pairs, and in the other case, like in case of aromatic system, they are odd pairs of pi electrons. When we say odd pairs, it means that there are 4n plus 2 pi electrons are present. So just like it could be 2, 6, 10 and onward, but 2 can't make a cycle, so we start from the 6. So benzene could be there, and there is another possibility of you can say 10 electrons. Basically aromatic system, it can be you can say that divided into two types of system. That is, one of them is called Huckel system and the other one is called Mobius system. So this Huckel aromaticity and Mobius aromaticity, we shall study them in detail when we finish all these categories or types of reactions of pericyclic chemistry. But you have to remember that this type of system, that is 4n plus 2 pi electronic system, we call it as Huckel aromaticity. The ones who justify these conditions, we put them in Huckel aromatic system. Here are a few examples of 4n plus 2 pi electronic system. You have to make sure the number of pi electrons here. Just like in case of aromatic system, though there are total number of atoms lying in one plane are 5, but still we have 6 number of electrons. One lone pair of nitrogen is involved, and hence we have aromatic system here. While in case of you can say that if nitrogen gives its lone pair to an extra like another R group, so it means that you can say that we have methyl pyrroline, and then it gets protonated. In that case we don't have an extra pair of electrons. So in this case this is not aromatic, rather anti-aromatic, because there are 4 electronic system here. There are 4 electrons. And the next one we have aromatic system, because in this case again there are 6 electrons and all are in one plane. But basically in the previous example I said that this one is anti-aromatic, but it shouldn't be anti-aromatic, because we already conferred that for aromaticity or anti-aromaticity there shouldn't be any atom that has 4 groups attached to it. Just like its hybridization shouldn't be sp3. So in this case nitrogen, it violates this rule, so we don't place it in aromatic or anti-aromatic. So this one is not aromatic system or non-aromatic system. Again in not this one of them is carbene. So carbene is aromatic, and the other one, the next one, it is non-aromatic because of sp3 hybridized carbon, and also because carbon is not conjugated. The next example is of phenol. In case of phenol, we have 6 electrons, and this one is aromatic. But what happens if we talk about the tautomeric form of this phenol? You shift proton from OH to the ring, and in this case we say that this is non-aromatic because one carbon is not conjugated here. And again we have this cyclic system where there are 2 electrons and it's a 3-membered ring, and in this case there is a positive charge here, and this is a cyclic system. We say it is a cyclic system, so it justifies this system where n is 0, so we say 4n plus 2 pi electronic system is there. The last one, where there is no positive charge on the cyclopropene, we say it's non-aromatic because carbon is not here is an example of pericyclic reaction, or precisely electrocyclic reaction. We know that rather we have studied the molecular orbital diagrams and symmetry operations. We carried out symmetry operations on hexatriene, that is 135 hexatriene system too. So in that case we studied the electrocyclic reaction, that it undergoes cyclization and how we can carry out symmetry operation. And you can see the molecular orbitals, they have to you can say move in one direction or another, that is disrotatory or conrotatory mode. They undergo this type of rotation, and then we have we obtain this cyclic product, that is cyclohexadiene. So in this case there are 2 possibilities. This reaction can be thermal or it can be photochemical. So what we the conclusion we made from this one is the selection rule. These are called the selection rules. So in these selection rules, what we say that 4n plus 2 pi electronic system, when it undergoes thermal reaction, it goes through disrotatory mode, and when it undergoes photochemical or you can say when it is irradiated, then it goes through the conrotatory mode of rotation. So how it does that, you have an example of di-substituted you can say cyclohexatriene and the cyclohexadiene, and then it goes under thermal reaction, it forms one isomer, you can say that one compound, and under the photochemical conditions you get the you can say that the opposite, you can say the other stereoisomer. In one case you get the cis-cis geometry, and in another case you get the trans. So you can say that in one case you get trans one, and in the other case you get cis. So this is how electrocyclic reaction undergo. We can take these can take place under thermal or photochemical conditions. So basically here are a few examples of these 2 systems, like 4n plus 2 pi electronic system and 4n pi electronic system. Why I am mentioning here 4n pi electronic system? Because this is one good example, so it's better to have a review and also consider this example in the previous lecture. Anyway, starting from 4n plus 2 pi electronic system, what we want to see here, or you can say that the important thing here is that in the synthesis of vitamin D2, another intermediate, that is lumistrol, but it undergoes electrocyclic ring opening reaction and 6 electrons are involved. So here are 3 pi bonds, they are formed at the cost of 1 sigma bond and 2 pi electronic bond shifting. So this is how this another intermediate is formed, and it undergoes 1,7 hydride shift, or you can say that it undergoes another pericyclic reaction named sigma tropic 1,7 hydride shift, or you can say 1,7 sigma tropic reaction, hydride sigma tropic reaction. So this is how 4n plus 2 pi electronic system is shown in the vitamin D2 synthesis. When we talk about 4n pi electronic system, here we have 6 pi electronic system, that is the case of benzene. So this substituted benzene, it undergoes you can say that electrocyclization to cyclobutene. You can say that in this case we have the same benzene type of structure, but it's the isomer of benzene that we call Dewar benzene. You can say that another isomer that is basically it is more stable than benzene, and the stability is basically driven by the substituent itself. And here we have another example of this same reaction where it undergoes, that is because there are 4 pi electronic system, they shift and they cyclize this compound, and then they form another cycle. So this is the bicyclic compound. So we have this benzene. You can write this, you can see that 2 fused cyclobutene together in the form of 6-membered ring, and we have 1 to 4 carbon atoms. They are joined together. So there are 2 double bonds and 1 single bond, and it's, you can say that the same, it's the same benzene, but the it's a isomer of benzene. We have already studied them in the very basic classes too. Anyways, the objective to show this example was, though benzene is very stable, but the driving force is always the stability of the product. So in here, this these type of compounds, they are stabilized here. So these type of the stability of the product is the driving force here. Here we have 2 examples. One of them, if you see that we have a fused string system, that is cyclobutene is basically the main skeleton, and then in this case you can say that the when a cyclobutene type ring, it can contain both these 2 types, like there can be donor group present on it, or electron withdrawing group can be present. So if hydroxyl or olefinic type of substituents are present at C3, then inward then outward conrotatory motion of olefinic substituent, it occurs preferentially to increase the stability of the transition state. Basically this is the same thing we have discussed in the previous lecture when we discussed torque selectivity, that if electron donating groups are present, then these electronic pair, they want to interact with the breaking sigma bond. So outward movement of these substituents, these are preferred. So in this case we get this intermediate, and that undergoes this again electrocyclization reaction, and because this is a thermal reaction, so this rotatory mode is preferred. We get this intermediate with the hydroxyl group that can tautomerize to form this keto group, and we have this product in the final product is obtained. But if you compare this reaction with the other reaction where the, you can say that the interconversion we can see of this cyclobutene, and cyclobutene has 2 substituents, that is formyl and ester group. So both of these substituents, these are electron withdrawing. So what happens that in this case we the movement of substituent, it is preferred to be inward. So if the conrotatory movement mode is done, and in conrotatory mode inward movement of substituent is taken in consideration, then we get this type of product. And in this case formyl groups has the inward location with respect to the carbon-carbon double bonds. So if you just elaborate this formyl group, we have carbon-oxygen double bond, that again we have this 6 pi electronic system that can undergo cyclization, and then we have, after cyclization, we get a heterocycle in here, and that heterocycle, of course, it can open the ring and the same reactant, because these reactions are reversible basically. And there is another example that has a similar concept, like you have cyclobutene with the electron donating electron withdrawing groups attached, and then you get this product after conrotation, and then this product undergo ring closure with the disrotation, and then after disrotation we get this final product here. Okay, because we have talked about that how these hexatriene molecules they are they can be constructed and how symmetry elements can be carried out on them. But now is the time that we see that how these molecular orbitals can be utilized to how we can use them to check whether a particular reaction is thermally allowed or it is thermally forbidden, or it is photochemically allowed or forbidden. So first of all, we shall see that whether the thermal, for this we have selected a reaction that is a electrocyclization of hexatriene to you have cyclohexadiene, that is 1,3-cyclohexadiene. So in this case, this reaction can be catalyzed by temperature, or you can use irradiation mode too. But how they are different, you know, when we talk about two components of a reaction, like we have cycloaddition type of reaction, where sometimes even you can take an example of Diels-Alder reaction. In Diels-Alder reaction, diene reacts with dienophile. So in this case you have two reactants. For that one, we see that the symmetries of the reactants, they should match when they react. But in this case, when we start from you can see one reactant, for this the terminal carbon atoms, they are very crucial, and we have already talked about this disrotatory mode of rotation or motion, or conrotatory motion. These two modes, they differ from, just like in one reaction, if thermal disrotation is allowed, then it won't be allowed by photochemical means. So photochemically only conrotatory motion shall be allowed to form this bonding in the long run in the product. Anyways, coming back to the example here, like that 1,3,5 hexadiene to triene to 1,3-cyclohexadiene. Okay, we have like we had 6 pi orbitals of 6 p like we have 6 psi functions, or you can say the 6 orbitals of these molecular orbitals of these 1,3,5 hexatriene. So in this case, we say that we have to identify that which one is homo and which one is pneumo. So when we say that there are 6 unhybridized p orbitals, so they are going to form a bond, like pi bond is going to form. So each carbon has 1 electron. It means that there are going to be 2 electrons for 2 carbons, and there are in total 6 carbon atoms, so there are going to be 6 electrons in total. So it means that there are 6 electrons to be distributed in these 6 p orbital 6 psi functions, or 6 molecular orbitals of hexatriene. Because one orbital can only contain 2 electrons, and we are going to follow all the rules of filling electrons, so it goes from the lowest possible energy to higher, and then higher, and then if there are still electrons remaining, then they go to the highest level. So in here we say that electrons, they go to psi1 function, the first molecular orbital, and then they go to psi2, and then they go to 2 electrons go to psi3. So in case of psi3, we have 2 electrons, but psi4 is empty. So that's why we say that psi3 is the homo or highest occupied molecular orbital, while psi4 is the lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. So we know that we have homo is identified now. So what we have to take care next is how this homo can go into the reaction, because in here I have only shown psi3. It means that we are only talking about the homo of this out of all the molecular orbitals available, we have only selected highest occupied molecular orbital, because that is the one crucial for the reaction. Okay, now we have selected that which molecular orbital is going to involve in the reaction, that is psi3. Next step is that we have to see that either disrotation is allowed or conrotation is allowed. Basically, when we carry out these reactions, there are many different approaches that we, I guess, discussed in the very early lectures, that there are different possibilities. We can use the frontier orbital molecular orbital approach. We can also use these symmetry operations. We can also use the aromaticity concept to check whether a particular reaction is allowed or forbidden. So in this case, the first of all we are going to see that the molecular orbital approach, how does it explain whether this reaction is allowed or not. So next step we are going to see that whether symmetry allows these kind of transformations or not. Okay, talking about this rotatory motion, when the terminal orbitals on terminal carbon atoms, they move in the opposite direction. Then if they move in opposite direction, psi3 has perfect alignment to make a sigma bond. But in case it means that it does look like that thermally this rotatory motion should be allowed. But in case of conrotative mode of motion, rotation, what happens that both these terminal orbitals, the orbitals and terminal carbon atoms, they move in the same direction. So in this case, what we can see from the orbital diagram or orbital picture, that there is sigma star is formed. So sigma star are anti-bonding orbital is formed. So in this case, anti-bonding shows that this one should be forbidden. So according to molecular orbital approach, it does give us information that this rotatory mode of rotation or this rotatory mode shall be allowed if the HOMO undergoes a reaction and the bonding is allowed in this case. But for psi3 to undergo conrotatory motion, anti-bonding orbital is formed. That it means that here the reaction is conrotatory motion. Through conrotatory motion, reaction is. Let's see if the same reaction is allowed through the photochemical mode or not. In the first one, we saw that thermal electrocyclization of hexatriene was allowed through this rotatory motion. And in this case, let's see if because in photochemical we have already, we already know that in photochemical or irradiation mode, what happens that electrons get excited from ground state to excited state. So in this case, we had psi3, in the case of hexatriene, psi3 was the highest occupied molecular orbital. But after irradiation, electrons from psi3, they move to psi4, and then now the highest occupied molecular orbital is psi4. So now we are going to consider psi4 as the main or prime or principal orbital to undergo these reactions. Because psi4 has different kind of orbitals involved and different shapes of orbital, or you can say different sign invariance there. Here we have in psi4 there are 3 nodes present. Anyways, there are 2 modes again they are available, like conrotatory mode or disrotatory mode. When we carry out conrotatory mode, that is both of these orbitals on terminal carbon atom, they move in the same direction. In this case, we see that the bonding is allowed because the sign invariance, there are no sign invariance, and the positive lobe coincide with the positive lobe. But in case of psi4, when it goes into disrotatory mode of motion, then we say that both these orbitals on the terminal carbon atoms, they move in the opposite direction. And why they have to move, we know that we are going to make another sigma bond. So for sigma bond, these 2 terminal orbitals, they have to coincide from head to head. So in any case, they have to move towards each other. So in this case, they are moving in the opposite direction, be it clockwise. One is clockwise and the other is anti-clockwise. So in this case, anti-bonding interaction is same. So because of this anti-bonding interaction, we say that this rotatory mode of motion is forbidden for photochemical electrocyclization reaction. Okay, so these happenings, that is the electrocyclization reaction, the 4n plus 2 pi electronic system, these are provided evidence from some reactions. Just like we have an example here, that is the experimental verification that thermally allowed pathway is followed in the interconversion of cyclooctatetraene with balanced isomeric bicyclo 4-0 system, Basically what happens in here, that we have a starting material, that is A. It's a bicyclic system. So in this bicyclic system, if we talk about the ring opening, so there are two possibilities. If we consider the main ring, that is the 6-membered ring, and we carry out this rotation with the 6 pi electrons, so in this case we get this cyclooctatetraene. But in the other case, there is another possibility that if this reaction is carried out by you can say that photochemically, it can be carried out using the 4 electrons of cyclobutene. When the ring opens in this case, we can also again obtain the similar product, that is the cyclooctatetraene. But in this case, this reaction is not that this reaction is not allowed or feasible. Normally it is not allowed thermally, so we have to irradiate the sample. So that's why if we talk about the thermal reaction, then only B can be formed from A. And also the B product and the other product that was formed by, that could be formed by the disrotation of using 4 pi electrons, they have different stereochemistry, because this cyclooctatetraene, it is not a planar structure, it has a tub shaped structure. So these two are they have different stereochemistry, and basically the arrangement of these atoms in space is different. Anyways, because why it matters, because they are substituents on carbon atom, so it matters that which carbon atoms are like low lying, or they are part of the you can say that other carbon atoms. Anyways, when we are talking about the electrocyclic reaction, once we get this octatetraene type structure, then again these six electrons of this octatetraene, they can be used to form another bicyclic structure that has these substituents in the cyclobutene type ring and the other 6-membered ring. That is because the starting point and the final point, they have similar structure, because there are two rings are fused. One is cyclobutene and the other is cyclohexadiene. But the difference comes because the substituent, they were first on the cyclohexene side, and now in the product the substituents on the cyclobutene. Anyways, they can be converted using these set of reactions. But the point is, if we start from the if we use the 4 pi electronic system, that is not feasible thermally. Anyways, we can convert the one B product to the other isomer using the temperature or heat. They can be converted. So once we get this product, it can be converted using this rotation of 6 pi electrons to the other isomer that has different substituent. Now the first set of reaction, they yielded different compound from the second set of reactions. Anyways, this is how they experimentally illustrated that the feasible reactions like 6 pi electrons, they undergo this rotation in the thermal conditions, while they cannot undergo the we cannot carry out this reaction, that is the 4 pi electrons, they can undergo this rotation under these conditions, and we can only get the first product, and the second product can only be obtained if we heat the B product into the second product. This was about the electrocyclization reaction evidence in favor of 4n plus 2 pi electronic system. There is another example, it is about the charge system. Like we have a divinyl amine type of compound here. So what's important in there is that this system is basically analogous to you can say this cyclopentadienyl anionic system, because in cyclopentadienyl anionic system they are 6 electron, but in that case carbon had 2 electrons, and in this same case here, like nitrogen lone pair is acting as a or you can say that it also provides 2 electrons. So overall in the system we have 6 electrons. So these 6 electrons, when we irradiate this compound, and after irradiation we know that it can undergo conformation mode, and then after convertation we get the cyclic product, and in that cyclic product we can have this nitrogen, because nitrogen gives its electron to the adjacent carbon, so it has positive charge and the adjacent carbon has negative charge, and after the shifting of other electrons we get this cyclic product or heterocycle. And what happens next is the basically sigma-tropic shift, that is 1,4 sigma-tropic shift, and after 1,4 sigma-tropic shift we get this neutral heterocyclic compound. These are the reference books. I always suggested these books, and you should go through them and read about the lectures, because most of the material I took from these books. These are the assignments. These are basically very simple, you can say, assignments, because in one assignment you just have to you can say that you have to identify one of the answer, that is, it is a multiple choice question basically. So there are two processes going on. In one process it could be either thermal, and the other process could be the photochemical one. So you have to identify whether disrotation or conrotation is operating in both of them. And the next one is like you have three steps from starting product. You irradiate the sample, you get one product, and then you go to another product and the final product. The final photo product, in this case we are talking that what could be the product in this case. So it could be phenanthrene, naphthalene, or anthracene, or phenyl naphthalene. So what I want you to remember, that we have to carry out 6 pi electronic electrocyclization reaction here. So for the 6 pi electronic cyclization reaction you have to involve both rings and the middle carbons if you want to synthesize like bicyclic or tricyclic system. So just arrange it itself, and after like first step and the second step, these two steps are the electrocyclization, and the third step is basically where you use iodine or oxygen to dehydrogenize the sample. Like you take out hydrogens and make it aromatic again. So you don't need to bother the third step. Basically the first two steps decide that whether there should be 2 rings or the 3 rings, and how the rings are arranged.